Hi, this is Tomb of Thunder by Adaya, a really cool Quake mod that came out last year. The map Hearthrone Now Mine, which is the boss map. I wanted to make a quick video on this one purely because it's kind of bullied me quite hard over the last couple of days, and I've been thinking a lot about it, so I wanted to get a demo out of my system. I thought it's a fun one to talk about because it's a really neat idea, but it's quite flawed. So it's a chton style boss fight with 3 phases. This intro here is really cool. It's kind of like, you know, the start map, except for in Tomb of Thunder style. There's a story and stuff with Tomb of Thunder, which I'm not going to get into. But basically I've got to hit all these pillars. Worth mentioning as well, Nightmare difficulty in Tomb of Thunder is special. It's like hard, except for the important thing for this video, the only thing that actually matters in this video, is my health is going to tick down to 25 constantly over time, so I need to constantly be replenishing health kits to keep myself safe. There's more to it than that, but for this, that's all that matters. I'm going to make more videos on this mod, so you'll see more later. Up where you find the Nightmare pillar usually, there's that secret, and also if you hit that fleshy wall, that unlocks the second secret as well. There's a mega up there as well, which, given the fact that I'm taking health down, it's strictly speaking necessary, but I really wanted it for this boss fight, purely because this boss fight is kind of hard, like really, really awkward, and I want to minimise the chances of getting randomed out and taking like an unlucky hit by any means necessary. Because one thing I want to say about this is, I mean, we're now, I think, a minute and a half into this map, almost, and, you know, the intro to the fight hasn't even started. This is one of those ones where it's really frustrating to run, because over and over again you've got to go through this intro, which is cool the first time, but it's not fun when you're like trying to make a demo file. More on that a bit later, maybe. So, this boss fight, 3 phases, hit the 2 switches, electrocutes, but I've got to do it on 3 levels of the arena that you can see, this level here, the one above and the one above there. The boss monster, who I'm now going to reveal with the map, because I don't want to spoil the dramatic moments, is Zeus. He has a bunch of attacks. The most important one is this railgun attack, which will insta-kill you, so you need to get behind a pillar and for cover immediately. He also has like some lightning attacks, some like projectile balls, and he has this attack which is like a plasma ball which moves really slowly and it shoots like lightning traces off as it passes you, which does a huge amount of damage. I used the rocket jump earlier to get that specific thing, because the spots in this map, like right now, where if you commit, you may die if he charges at a certain point because you cannot get back to cover fast enough. That's one of them, which I just jumped around this sort of where the archway is. And there's one here just going past the switch, so it's better to rocket jump. This is hard. This intro took me ages to practice and get down, and I just got lucky, basically, I'm going to be honest with you. These pillars are also destructible, so the slower you do it, the more likely the other pillar's going to blow up, which means that the fight gets harder later on. On this upper level, there's a lot of spots where you can just kind of like stand out of his line of sight, but they're very specific. It's safer to do a U-shaped sort of dodge around to the second button rather than go around the front, because there's no cover at all at that front section, and I got jibbed so many times. And the portal takes you back down to the ground level, which is lovely. So, that start phase is really hard. I make it look a lot easier than it is. It really was tricky to get this down. But once he's done that, now you've got the second phase, where you can actually damage him. This is where the pillars being still active is good, because he takes a lot of beating here. He's going to take, I think it's like 66-ish rockets, and about like, or maybe 25 railgun shots. The lightning gun's been replaced with a railgun, I forgot to mention that. That's one of the changes in this mod as well, it's very cool. 6 cells per shot. As you can see, he's blowing the pillars up. This pillar up here can be blown up early in like the first attempt. If it does that, the chances are you're fucked, basically. This is the Hourglass of Kronos I picked up. That's what hitting the flesh wall in the Nightmare area of the start map did. And as you can see, it means I can basically just bully him. And I take advantage of this power up at this point purely so I can kill him faster. There are like ways to lame him out perfectly safely, like standing against this wall on my left and just peeking out and shooting him over and over again, but I thought, I don't want to make a demo of that, it's not my bag. So I save it. I suffer through the first phase and save it. Now this, however, is the interesting part. It's good to be stacked up with health here, because this can really, really hurt if you get this wrong. Third phase, really cool idea. The arena sort of comes apart like it does. The eyeballs come out. 2 shots from a railgun, 3 shots from a rocket, but very, very accurate shots to kill. It's going to spam all the Zeus attacks from various random points in the ceiling. On the second level, your chances of getting hit are much, much higher because you can just be hit basically point blank. It's all the projectiles except for his railgun attacks, so the slow plasma ball, everything. It's so dangerous. And something I didn't mention on this map, which makes it awkward, is a lot of this upper level here that you can see with these steps, these can dead stop you at any point, especially when you're trying to move quickly, which means dodging the railgun shot's really hard because you're constantly fighting against the geometry of the map while you're doing it. And you can see here that even though I've got a relatively safe strategy for this, I'm still down to 11 HP. It's kind of scary. And you can see how the shots kind of come from everywhere. But that's the fight. That's killing Zeus and her throne now mine. It's a really interesting capstone map, but it's a really frustrating capstone map to a really fascinating kind of mod that came out last year that I don't think really got its due. It didn't really get as much attention as it should have. I do want to say I played this for the first time with a modifier called Super Monsters as well, which buffs all of the monsters, gives them special extra attacks. I was playing on hard mode with Super Monsters, so standard hard mode. And the Super Monsters mean that, like, you know, an ogre shoots a volley of grenades, and the fiend can be it's like translucent like a spectre. But it makes this boss virtually impossible because it means the charge time on that rail attack from Zeus is like half the time. So being out of position is basically just going to happen unless you get really lucky and you can make your rotation safely. Even picking up that hourglass doesn't really help because it only lets you do a single rotation and button press basically. So you've still got to survive the majority of it, and then you've got to deal with him when he's in an enraged form, which is absolutely terrifying because he's going to smash the pillars because he fires much faster, so there's more chance of those pillars blowing up as well. And then the final, like, the storm of projectiles is just, it's ludicrous. But I suffered that way, so you don't have to. So don't play with Super Monsters in your first try when you give this a go. But Tomb of Thunder by Adaya, I'd really recommend that you give it a go. It's on Slipseer. It's great fun, basically. I intend to make some Nightmare difficulty Super Monsters demos of the other maps, which show off how Nightmare actually works, how Super Monsters works, and all the extra content which is in Tomb of Thunder. So look forward to that. Goodbye.